I mean, in general, I'm just gonna say parenting is super hard, and
Amen.
there's
Amen.
a lot of pieces to it, right? I mean, I don't serve my kids like the most perfect nutritionally balanced meal every single night. And we don't sit down as a family and eat at 7 o'clock every single night. I mean, yes, I try to as much as I can. Maybe we sit as a family and have a home cooked dinner together that's really good for you, like 2 or 3 nights a week. And sometimes we need to get takeout. And sometimes it's like, you're getting mac and cheese because that's all I can do tonight, you know? And that's okay too. Like I think you take like the big picture, right? So it doesn't have to be this like daily pounding of like money lessons and manners lessons and nutrition lessons. It's just this overarching focus of the family that I think as long as it's like part of the core of your parenting that like money habits are important and this is a topic of conversation and when it comes up we talk about it and then same with food like you put food on the table and most of the time it's good and sometimes it might not be the best but that's okay we understand
Exactly.
like
Yep.
what that baseline is like what's okay
Yep.
sometimes we watch TV at dinner Alex sometimes I just yes we
What?
sit at the bar and like I'll sit at the table with my phone and my kids will be like watching TV. That's not our every night. It's like it's just when I just can't anymore. I'm like, fine,
Yeah.
And I say that just because we're all human and parenting is just not easy. And so I think that's the thing. We need to
Amen.
give ourselves a little bit of grace and realize like it needs to be important and it needs to be at the forefront, but it doesn't have to be this hard thing that we do every single second of every day. It's an
Amen.
underlying theme of life.
Now, what I would add to that is that, what I hear so interestingly in the correlation between what you just said and core, the whole sort of movement, the elementary starter course, like all of it is that you have an anchor in your house. I have that same anchor. Many families have that anchor, which is dinner. Dinner is an anchor. It doesn't mean it happens every single day, but it's something that you can rely on. Whether it's 3 times a week, 2 times a week, 1 time a week, everybody has to eat every day. They have to eat at dinner time. And so those are opportunities that you have to discuss some sort of behavior around eating as those conversations come up organically, right?
Mhm.
That's the core day, right? That is the once a month having that conversation to know, okay, because money is a little bit different, that you need an anchor. The core day is that anchor, that first Sunday of the month, or if you make it the first Wednesday of the month, whatever it is. But we have to have that anchor to base everything on. Without that, we're a boat with no anchor or no rudder. It's just going to float, with the current.
Yep. Okay, so relating back to food, Alec, my kids, they eat really well and they're very versatile. I can take them to basically any type of cuisine and they'll eat it. I can take them to any country, they'll eat it. And so yes, of course they like, quesadillas and pizza and hamburgers and they love In and Out every night. Like they're normal kids, right? But if I make a tomato basil burrata salad, they'll eat that too, it's great because they're very versatile. And so parents for my whole life have been saying, what do you do? How do you do that? How do you get them to eat that? And I think the base of that, it's every day since they were born. I've just put out a bunch of food and I never said, "Oh, my kids don't like broccoli, therefore I'm not serving broccoli." Like, if I feel like making broccoli and serving broccoli, I'm serving broccoli. I don't force them to eat it. I don't negotiate. I don't bribe. I put it out there, right? So a lot of the dinners I put out are bits and pieces of things. I'll do a Mediterranean night where there's some chicken and some rice and some kale and some cauliflower and some lentils and some sauces. And I'm not telling them, "You have to eat this. You have to do it the way I do it." It's just like a mix and match. Sometimes, all of a sudden, they'll grab a handful of kale and put it in, or they'll grab, something that I didn't expect, and it's those moments where I just kind of like I'm like, "Yes, I won." Like, they did that
Yeah.
on their own. They grabbed that kale, and they're eating it, and they're liking it, and I didn't have to make this huge deal about it or fight them about it. I just continued putting it out there. And it's stuff I like, so I'll eat it. And if they don't eat it for dinner, I'll eat it the next day. So it's nothing's going to waste or anything like that. But I think you can kind of correlate that with the core project and like you just keep putting it out there. You just that's your
Yes.
strategy. You just do it. And it might take a year before that like one thing clicks, but you just keep doing it. You just keep saying, you keep reminding them, "Well, how would you have done that different? Or what does that teach you?" And then the day that it clicks and the day that they grab that, handful of kale or the day they come to you and say, "I did it this way."
Yep.
It's like that
Yes.
was worth it. That all of that was worth it. So strategy and
Hashtag
consistency.
winning.
Yes, hashtag winning and strategy and consistency, which is, what this whole
Yep.
thing is about. So and not making it such a struggle or such a strict regimented, just the
Yep. Put it out there.
conversation, putting it
Have an
out
anchor and
there,
put it out there. Yep.
just getting the
All
thoughts
right.
going. So that's my analogy.
I was hoping Chef Julie would love the analogy.
Mhm.